When the R word hits the headlines, investors across the globe collectively hold their breath, and for good reasons. So we are talking about recessions here, not what you're thinking about. Recessions can shake economies, devastate portfolios, and unsettle even the most seasoned investors. But here's a little secret. Recessions are neither rare nor insurmountable. Let's start from scratch. What exactly is a recession? So most textbooks actually simplify it as 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. Yet, if you actually dig deeper, it's much more nuanced than that. So here's the interesting thing. Not too long ago, as some of you might have remembered, in 2022, the US actually experienced 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. However, the official arbiters of US recessions, the National Bureau of Economic Research, or the NBER for short, did not declare a recession back then. And the natural question would then be, why? Because they are both the player and the referee at the same time. So they can pretty much change the rules mid-game. Of course, I'm just joking, kind of. So in actual fact, it was because that the NBER doesn't solely rely on the GDP, but uses a broader set of indicators, including employment, consumer spending, industrial productions, wholesale retail sales, to name a few. And a recession is traditionally characterized by significant declines in economic activity across the economy. And the keyword here is significant decline. But back in 2022, despite the technical GDP dipping, jobs growth was robust, wages were rising, and consumer demand actually remained relatively resilient. So all signs that the economy wasn't broadly contracting. And the GDP declines were largely driven by inventory adjustments and trade imbalances, not necessarily a collapse in domestic demand. Which begs the question, why do recessions actually terrify investors so deeply? The obvious reason is of course uncertainty. And as human beings, we are naturally risk averse. And uncertainty, especially concerning all of our monies, it triggers panic in short. Where you vividly recall the pandemic crisis of 2020 and the great financial crisis of the 07 to 09, where the S&P actually plummeted close to 34 and 57% from their peaks respectively. And this will actually fuel fear whenever economic indicators start flashing red again. And if you're someone who doesn't want to react, but want to think clearly through the noise, here's something that might actually help. So we have just launched a free weekly newsletter called Investing Bites. And each issue actually delivers timeless lessons, market insights, and bite-sized breakdown of what matters to long-term investors. And at the start of every month, we also spotlight one standout company we are currently watching, alongside our internal thesis and why it caught our attention. So if that sounds relevant to you, head down to the link in the description below and we'll send you the latest issue straight into your inbox. Now, what actually happens to your portfolio during a recession? So your portfolio often take a beating before the economy even show any signs of weakness. And investors aren't just reacting to bad earnings, they're actually trying to predict how bad things could get. And that leads to wild swings in stock prices and a sharp drop in valuations, and investors turn more conservative generally. So even strong companies like your Apple or Microsoft can even potentially fall more than 30 to 50%. Not because their businesses are broken, but because fear spreads and people rush to exit and sell out their positions. At the same time, company profits also start slowing down. And when people cut back on their spending, businesses pull back on their cost, earnings shrink. So look at FedEx in 2022. They lost almost 20% of their value in one day just from warning that shipping volumes were down. And mind you, back in 2022, we had no recession, remember? And it doesn't just stop there. When profits drop, companies actually lay off workers and banks get stingier with credit. And consumer confidence actually take a double hit. First, from job fears, then from limited access to credit. So this actually hurts spending and also investing. So businesses that actually rely on easy capital actually suddenly find themselves starved of oxygen. And it becomes a vicious cycle. Lesser spending hurts earnings, lower earnings trigger more layoffs, and the fear keeps feeding on itself. And if you're holding on to risky or highly leveraged positions, you're likely the first in line to feel the pain. And here's the thing, not all stocks get hit equally in the recessionary environment. And some sectors are just naturally more resilient. We call them defensive stocks. Think consumer staples, healthcare, and even utilities. So these are companies that sell the stuff people need no matter what's happening in the economy. You're still going to buy toothpaste, fill prescriptions, and keep the lights on even if the market is crashing. And historically, these sectors actually have held up much better in downturns. Let's take the global financial crisis in the '08 for example. So during the time period of Jan of '08 to Jan of '09, the S&P 500 has actually dropped by more than 40%, whereas shares of Walmart declined only by 3.7%, and McDonald's virtually broke even. And that's a huge difference when you're trying to protect your capital in such a chaotic environment. And while we are on the topic of defensive stocks, here's a subtle but important distinction. So true diversification isn't just about sprinkling into safe quote-unquote sectors to hedge a recession. It's about owning high-quality companies or businesses that you want in your portfolio regardless of the macro backdrop. So buying a company like Costco, for example, might potentially make sense, not just because it's a consumer staple or a traditional defensive sector, but because it's a consistently well-run business with pricing power, scale advantage, and an extremely loyal customer base. That's very different from blindly picking any defensive name just because it's labeled quote-unquote safe or defensive for that matter. So if the fundamentals aren't solid, calling it defensive won't save you when things start to get rough. And there's one major assumption here. You need to be right before a tactical recession play can pay off. Timing. And that's where most investors probably will stumble. So trying to predict precisely when an economic downturn will start or even end is notoriously difficult, even for professionals. So economists have famously predicted 69 out of the last 5 recessions. A humorous yet telling insight into forecasting accuracy. In fact, quoting from the investing legend Mr. Buffett himself, forecasts may tell you a great deal about the forecaster, they tell you nothing about the future. And another common misconception investors have is that market and the economy move in lockstep. Truth be told, they don't. The market is anticipatory, so it often falls into bear territory before recession fully materializes and typically recovers before economic indicators clearly show signs of improvement. So taking for example, the pandemic-induced recession in 2020, the market started rebounding aggressively in April, even as unemployment skyrocketed and the economy contracted sharply in that same year. And investors waiting for clear economic recovery signals to re-enter actually missed out on substantial gains. So this lagging phenomenon isn't limited to just recent times. In fact, historical data from every major recession since the World War II confirms this pattern, and this underscores the danger of basing investment decisions purely on economic news or economic indicators. So what's the smart investor's bear market playbook, you might ask? First, accept that volatility is a natural part of investing. So markets will swing wildly, especially during recessions, and that's normal. Second, remain invested with a disciplined strategy, such as dollar cost averaging, which involves investing in fixed amounts regularly, regardless of market conditions. So this approach actually takes the emotion out of investing, allowing investors to buy more shares when prices are low. Third, use downturns to upgrade your portfolio. So consider rotating into high quality companies with strong balance sheet, stable earnings, and robust cash flows. So these are companies most likely to be able to survive any sort of recession or storm ahead and to emerge stronger on the other side. Fourth, maintain some cash, not necessarily to perfectly time bottoms, but more importantly, to seize opportunities when high quality stocks become attractively priced. And lastly, zoom out. Historical perspective is an investor's best ally during downturns. So over long horizons, equities have shown remarkable resilience and consistent upward trend. And I'll show you 2 pieces of evidence. Firstly, the rolling 10-year returns of the S&P 500 have been positive 95% of the time since 1970. And if you drag out the time frame to over 15 years, they've been positive 100% of the time. And clearly, it goes to show us that investing is ultimately a marathon, not a sprint. The second evidence that I submit to you is the fact that recessions are precisely the time period where you take advantage of discounted prices and accumulate good companies to your portfolio. And when looking at every single recorded recession after World War II, you can see that generally, They've all delivered solid results 3 years from the drawdown episode. And it's also helpful to acknowledge that behavioral bias is at play. So recency bias makes us overly pessimistic when market drops, believing they will continue dropping indefinitely. And loss aversion amplifies our emotional reaction to losses, leading us to make impulsive decisions that undermine long-term investment results. So the next time recession fears dominate the headlines, remember this playbook. Stay calm, stay invested, focus on quality, keep some dry powder ready, and most importantly, don't let short-term panic derail your long-term plans. And we know recessions are tough, but they're also when the seeds of the next bull markets are planted. Reframe the fear as opportunity. Think of it less as a crisis and more like a rare Black Friday sale for long-term investors. And your future self will probably thank you. Hopefully, this video becomes a go-to guide you'll come back to through future recessions, market turbulences, and moments of uncertainty. Because no matter what the headlines scream, you'll know how to stay grounded. Recessions come and go, what matters is how you play it. So when the next one rolls around, may you come out with a portfolio smiling. And this is CK from Piranha Profit signing off. Till next time, keep winning.